Welcome, everyone, to episode 33 of the Cosmere Reads. I was thinking about this as we're about to go live, and I always did with the wheel reads like seasons per book. So this would be like season 3. And I kept on going back and forth when I started this podcast on like whether I would do that for these books. But since Brandon Sanderson is still writing all the Cosmere books, and there might be a million of them before it's all gone, I didn't want to be like season 57. So I just kept on.
No, you go with it, man. We're gonna be like that. What's that show, Gunsmoke, that had like 70 seasons or whatever it was.
Maybe I'll just do seasons per series, like chunks. Yeah. So like we'll do the trilogy, and then I'll do season 2 will be Launchers, and then season 3 will be Stormlight. So yeah, cool. We'll do that. Sounds good. So little housekeeping. Didn't talk about that to you guys live beforehand, but that's okay. So we're starting a new book, guys. This is exciting, right? We got this nice little cool new book, Hero of Ages. I love this book cover. There's a million different book covers they have.
Yeah, man.
This one with a steel spike going down, which we get into very quickly in this book.
A lot of stuff happens early on in this book.
Yeah, it starts explaining a lot of new stuff really fast. like huge exposition dump, but a lot of fun. Before I get into any of that, couple announcements. Nothing really with the Cosmere Reads as far as if we're starting a new book. Will Reads, we're starting back up sometime this month, maybe the next season of Wad of Fortune. And I think that's it. We just started a new book over there too, so we're just kind of new books everywhere. Lots of fun. So yeah. I would say also we are sponsored. So yeah, let me do that real fast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by NordVPN. That's a bad one. Let's find a better overlay. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's NordVPN. Better. So they emailed me the other day saying that they're going to be doing a special for their VPN, super cheap. It's going to be $3.99 or something like that a month for 2 years, for a 2-year subscription using our affiliate link. So I will add that in the description of the actual podcast. I don't have it for tonight, but we'll get the link out there for that. So if you want a super cheap VPN and you want to be able to watch any movie in the entire world because you can just say you're in that country on Netflix, literally it opens up everything. Like I can just go online and Google like, I want to watch this movie. Oh, it's available in Canada. Well, I'm in Canada now. So there's also other uses for it. There's safety. Yeah. But yeah, VPNs. Go check it out. She's super cheap VPN. $4 a month.
I use NordVPN. You got to show me how to do that, Alan.
Yeah. No, so it's just not that easy. Like literally, if you use NordVPN, you pull it up on your browser. You pull it up and it has the whole map of the world. So if you like Google a movie you want to watch and say, where is it streaming on Netflix in the world? And you go click on that country and then go to netflix.com and it will be there.
So I had real applicability for this. I love Poirot. All right, the Hercule Poirot show that came out like on like PBS and all that stuff. So it's available. Every episode is available on YouTube. Not available to watch in the US. So the only way I was able to watch it was I had to download it while I was in Scandinavia. So now I have it, but if I had NordVPN, wouldn't be a problem.
Wouldn't be a problem. Yep. Just click on one of the Scandinavian
anywhere else outside the US. It's just
anywhere else on the US.
Yeah. So
there's a movie I watched, like The Passengers. It's with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
I had never seen it, and I saw like a little preview for it. I was like, oh, this one's interesting. And I was like, so I went to Netflix, and I was like, not on Netflix. And I was like, it's on Netflix in Canada. Sweet, I want to watch it.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, it works. It's cool. Check it out. Yeah, Nord's awesome. Nord. Doughboy just convinced me to use Nord. Yeah.
Nord. Nice.
What's everybody drinking tonight? Anybody drinking besides me?
So actually, I went fancy today. This is actually a chocolate smoked old fashioned. Actually smoked it in a cigar box, so it's got the nice little whiff on it. So I went fancy tonight. Just got to bring it out sometimes.
Go ahead.
Saying I'm drinking straight whiskey. I have a nice bottle of Elijah Craig barrel
proof.
Yeah, the barrel proof stuff. It's pretty good.
Stuff is so ridiculously underpriced for what it tastes like. I mean, it's great.
It's good stuff.
What you drinking, Will?
I have this
the bullet.
pre-made bullet.
Yes, the bullet Manhattan. Yes.
Pretty tasty, and it's also pretty strong. So I'm halfway through my first glass of
Oh,
it.
really? What's the ABV on that?
35%.
Okay. Because
Not bad.
see the old fashioned I think is an orange bottle, right?
Yes, I have that one too.
Yeah, and then but I've never had either. But I was like, it couldn't be too bad. It's bullet.
Yeah.
You know.
This is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Put over some
Good
ice, easy
call.
peasy.
Nice.
And these go really well with whiskey too. I got some chocolate covered espresso beans. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have the caffeine allergy, so unless I want to die,
Worth it.
That's
I'd
unfortunate.
be like, I'm gonna go out. Ah!
Chocolate covered espresso beans are so good.
I'm
Especially with
gonna
whiskey.
take your word for it, Alan.
Let me down that a little bit.
Yeah, get in there.
So, what's new? What's going on with you guys? Anything new, exciting? It's been a week.
So for me, it's just been work. I told you guys that, and I knew it was gonna be like hella fine amount of work, crazy amounts of work. So yeah, but like I was telling the guys, I was gonna play like Sea of Thieves with you guys. I haven't been able to do that, and then I redid a part of my water cooling loop last night, just because I was nervous it might be a leak potential kind of thing. So I focused on that. Super happy with that. I'm like, and I got a little monitor here. I can actually monitor the temperatures and everything. That's super cool, and it's like super quiet. I love the fact it's like crazy quiet. Like it makes like no noise. So
Nice.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
I was
I gotta get on this thing, man.
Will and I have been playing a lot.
Yeah.
We played like 3 nights this week and played like really long sessions. And if you want
Nice.
to check it out, like when we play, I live stream it whenever we're playing. So you can just go to twitch.tv/Carpe Ventum, which sees the wind in Latin, Carpe Ventum. It's a perfect for Sea of Thieves. But yeah, so if you guys want to check out my Twitch channel, you can.
I do have like all the YouTube stuff in like set up, so it's just queuing like all these videos and stuff because I had never played it.
Yeah.
And this one came up and it was like it's almost like guaranteed. I guess they're releasing a 2024 release.
They have new updates all the time.
No, they're talking about like a new like version. I guess because
the Sea of Thieves 2, that's been a rumor mill for a while.
Oh, okay. So
and then there's Skull and Bones coming out, which is another pirate game. That's coming out next month, maybe. They've pushed that back for like 3 years now. But
oh, okay, gotcha.
But there's been rumor mill for Sea of Thieves 2 for a long time. But they just I don't know. Sea of Thieves is fun. Yeah, I love the idea of Sea of Thieves, but I don't have anyone to play with. Yeah, that's the thing about Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is one of those games, and I hate that it's on Game Pass because it's free to play for anyone that has Game Pass. And then if you don't have friends that play, the game's not that fun. Like playing by yourself.
I hear so there's like 2 separate areas, right? So there's like a sea, which is like you can just do by yourself.
Yeah, that's new. The Safer Sea stuff that just came out in October. But forever it was just like all PvP. And just all I do now anyway. I would never play the Safer Sea stuff. That's not fun. Like Will and I occasionally will try to do missions, and then we just get really bored and try to find votes. Go sync.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I don't want to play actual game. I just want to go steal stuff. So we're those toxic players that people talk about, and like the reason why people hate the game is because they're new to the game, they know what they're doing, and they start, and then someone comes by that's been playing forever, it just sinks them instantly, takes all their stuff, and they're like, well, I'm not playing anymore.
So basically, this is like World of Warcraft back in like 1999.
When it was all PvP, yeah,
because it was like toxic as hell, man. You'd have like a level 60
toxic, yeah.
You have a level 60 dude come by, and he would just like just bash your head in with a club, and then just take all your stuff.
Yep, it's a very toxic game. The great thing about it is it's not like that. Like there's no leveling in the game, so like everyone's on an equal playing field. It's just skill though, so. Like
it's a matter of learning. So like look at it as you come up, you get wrecked by another boat. You're learning, right? It's a learning process. You got to pay your dues,
right? Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like there's not like you can't get special weapons that are better than anyone else. Like everyone has the exact same stats. There's no like higher levels.
On top of that, Alan and I are playing on a 2-man ship, and we're fighting 4-person ships, right? So like we're outnumbered. And it's a challenge.
We're still beating though.
Like we should lose.
Can you get better? Can you get better if you go into the Safer Seas part and get to like your skills up?
Well, you can get used to like use the mechanics.
Yeah.
But that's where like playing with like me and Alan, because we played a little bit, you'd be able to learn more quickly, I think, because we
Quickly,
could tell
okay.
you know.
Gotcha. All right.
Like Thatcher, if you ever want to play, let Alan know. He can join us anytime. Anybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone
Always
can join
down to-
us. Yeah, join the Discord and just hit me up. And anyone can join us playing. I don't care. We'll just get a bigger boat. Play with 4 people at once. It's a lot of fun. So
Nice.
100% full send. Come play with us. It'll be fun. I guarantee, if nonetheless, it'll be fun. Even if we lose, we don't care.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole point. Like,
Don't get serious about it.
we don't get serious about it at all. Like, someone beats
Nah.
us, like, oh well, we just lost a bunch of stuff.
Hey, you know,
I
that's
don't
right. That's
care.
right.
Like,
Just wait for the reload screen and your boat will respawn and you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's
Just go
all
get it.
virtual currency anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, hey.
Yeah, we took out a galleon, a 4-person boat the other night. Just Will and I together, which was pretty epic. I mean, we definitely came in during a storm, so they couldn't see us coming. I think that played to a huge advantage, but it was fun. So anyway, not talking about Sea of Thieves. I could talk about that for hours. So the Sea of Thieves podcast.
The Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves reads.
Welcome to SotCon.
Yeah, SotCon. There you go. Let's get into talking about Hero of Ages, because that's something fun to talk about too. We have a lot to talk about tonight because we have 5 chapters. We include the little short prologue, but which there's a lot to talk about in that too.
Man, that's an impactful prologue.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
So let's get right into it because we get a bunch of stuff that was left cliffhangers, a couple of answers like right away of stuff we hadn't really figured out yet, and we're starting to get some answers like right from the get-go.
Jeez.
Immediately. You don't have to wait long.
No.
So we start with Marsh's point of view in the prologue. And Marsh is struggling. It starts with Marsh struggled to kill himself. That's the first line of this book. He is flipping back and forth from being under control by something, and he finally names it later in the chapter, but he's talking about how he gets a sense of himself again, how he doesn't want to do what he does, and then something washes over him and he loses complete control.
Oh yeah.
And there's a terraceman on a bench in front of him. Also he talks about 3 years as an inquisitor, 3 years in prison imprisoned in his own thoughts. And just about how whenever this thing takes over, the excitement of blood and everything like that, and he gets into like the bloodlust and everything like that, and he doesn't have control.
Man, he's like craving it. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Couple of big things here. I mean, one, you get the name of this entity that's free now. Ruin.
Yeah. And of course, I'm doing the audiobooks. I don't know how it's spelled.
Yeah. People who say the Cosmere is YA have not read this book.
What is
that
YA?
Is young adult.
Young adult.
Oh.
Yeah. This ain't no Harry Potter, my people.
This isn't Harry Potter. I mean,
Of course, Harry Potter isn't Harry Potter by the end of the books. But yeah,
sure.
Yeah, isn't he like fighting he's trying to like remove the spike himself?
Yeah,
He's like,
he wants
"Fuck
that
this
with
shit."
to reach around and like pull the spike out and everything.
Yeah.
This poor guy.
Yeah,
Ish.
poor Marsh. I mean,
Yeah.
he has a glimpse of himself like while all this is happening and sees the horror all around him. And as soon as he gets that, he's like trying to stop himself. He gets like taken back over again. He's like the lust just comes right back to him. So we learned a term called hemalurgy. We have no idea what that means, but the term is given here. That something's happening where they're driving spikes through. There's a body on top of a body.
But it takes 2 bodies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Hema going like, our typical understanding of Hema sound blood.
Mm-hmm.
So hemalurgy meaning
Right.
metals, things like that. So I was like
Yeah.
blood metal. But I'm not sure I understand because I mean, obviously this specific ritual requires 2 bodies because they actually have an indent or impression in the actual
For the body to
slab.
go underneath the other body.
So that way there's
and
like the one body and then a body on
And then
top
you
of it. And then
drive the spikes through.
yeah.
It has to go through the heart.
Yeah. Go for the heart, Indy. Go for the heart. Cover your heart.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know, that's from Indiana Jones and the Temple of
Doom.
Temple of
Temple of
Doom.
Doom,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a couple of things. What are your thoughts about all this? I mean, let's talk about Ruin, talk about hemalurgy, talk about just what's going on with Marsh. I mean, just all of it.
I remember in the first book how excited I was that Marsh had become an Inquisitor. I was like, because he's on the inside now, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, unfortunately, he went through this like terrible ritual, blah blah blah, blood everywhere, body parts everywhere, yada yada yada. And he won't even talk about it. He's like, you know, the first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club, right? So he was like, I can't tell you what is happening. But you were like, you like felt like you had a man on the inside, and I have done nothing but just like feel for this guy ever since then. I'm
Poor
like,
Marsh.
this
I mean,
guy.
It's poor Marsh.
Yeah, poor Marsh. Like literally,
Yeah.
that's what it says in my notes. It says poor Marsh.
Marsh.
Dot.
Yeah.
This poor guy. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I mean, because he was trying to do it for all the right reasons, not knowing what
Oh.
he was getting into, and
No idea what he was getting into.
now he's in, and there's nothing he can do. He
Ugh.
can't get out. Like he's
Yeah.
just stuck. And I mean, the only way to get out is to kill himself at this point. Because
And he can't even do that easily.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Danilo Azul says, I remember a lot of excitement and thought I couldn't wait for him to find out the truth about Mark's situation.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yep,
dark.
yep. That's true.
Like,
Absolutely true. Absolutely. I stand by because I was excited at the beginning. I was like, oh man, he came in. He's badass now.
yeah.
And I was
It's
like not knowing.
and then all the people that have
Baby
read the book
Woods.
are like, oh, you sweet summer child.
And now we're here, and I'm like, head in hands the whole time, just like, why you gotta do this to my boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
It is. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about Ruin? I mean, so we've heard this name before. The Conjurer mentioned it. I can't remember if it was the first book or I think it had to be second book. Conjurer got big in Wolf Ascension. I think it was Tensoon that mentioned it.
Yeah, I feel like we heard the term before.
It was in capital letters and we pointed it out. So I mean, I'll go back because I didn't mention it and highlight it before, and I don't expect you read the slow pace to remember these things.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it
doing
was-
audiobooks, so I didn't really know
Yeah.
what the
So
emphasis was.
So I pointed it out on the podcast when I said that was that it was the Conjurer said, right, we're not quite of ruin and preservation, and both of those were capitalized. And I asked you, what do you guys think about that? And your guys were like, I don't know what ruin and preservation are. I was like, okay, good enough.
Got it. Again, I
Or
feel like
something along those lines,
I'd have probably paid a lot more attention to it if I had known it was in capital letters.
Yeah.
Didn't it have something to do with like how Alan got stabbed in the Well of Ascension?
Go on.
I just have in my notes that the entity in the Well of Ascension that stabbed Ellen is now, like, we now know that is called Ruin.
Yes.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, I don't really know. That seems to be like what is controlling the Inquisitors to do this hemalurgy.
Wait. Actually, I said yes, and I thought that the entity that
Stabs Ellen.
stabbed Ellen was a Mistwraith
Was trying to prevent
and was
them
trying to
from
prevent Ruin's ascension.
Oh,
escaping.
So I didn't think that was Ruin. I thought that Ruin was the thing that was speaking to Vin the whole
I'm free. I'm
time.
free. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I could very well be wrong.
So that was my interpretation. I don't know if I'm right. I'm just saying that was my interpretation. So.
I'm trying to remember
both-
why I wrote that down.
But both could be right. It's just someone's right, someone's wrong. But wrap up.
Yeah, man. But well, we're gonna get to the global stuff. These openings, by the way, these what do we call the
Epitaphs?
openings? Yeah, epitaphs.
Epigraphs, not tasks. I
Yeah,
said it last
epitaph
time.
didn't sound right.
Epitaphs is on a
Epitome?
grave. Epitaphs on a grave. Epigraph.
Epitome. Will, yes.
This is the epitome of the episode.
The epitome.
Sounds right, doesn't it?
Oh man,
This has already turned to a catastrophe. So
the epitome.
We were talking about that on Sea of Thieves, but
we
I'll
were.
stop there.
We were.
Oh,
No more
nice.
Sea of Thieves rabbit holes.
Gotta do it. The epitome.
It even carried over. We talked about it on the Wheel Reads last week. So
Oh man.
epitome has gone far.
And that word is ruined for life now because of this guy mispronouncing it. Mr. Professor himself was all like trying to be like, oh,
Yes,
can you
not
know this
epitaphs.
word?
Epitaphs are on graves. Epigraphs at the beginning of the chapters. It's the
Epitome.
epigraphs.
Epitome. I was like, what?
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe, yeah. That sounds
Catastrophe.
about right. And I saw all these, by the way, these notes going back and forth on Discord about cats and stuff. I was like, holy cow.
Oh yeah.
Y'all some
There we go.
feline friends.
So yeah, we'll get to the epigraphs when we get to chapter
Yes,
1.
yes.
But,
I don't want to jump ahead.
We're going to definitely talk about them and thoughts. This book more than the books.
Wait, are we moving on from the prologue?
No, I still want to talk about hemalurgy. Thoughts.
Okay, all right. Well, we glossed over. I don't know if it's important or not, but they said that the person that was being spiked was a terrorist man, which I thought was shitty. I don't know if
Very shitty.
Obviously everyone doesn't have to be a terrorist man to become an inquisitor, but in this instance it was a
Who do you think's
terrorist man.
becoming the inquisitor? The person on top or the person on the bottom? Is it the top or is it the pitcher or the catcher? Is it the dom or the
I feel like there's some sort of
think about what's
transfer.
important about why it's critical that it be a terrorist man, though, too. I mean, and I thought this the whole time. I was like, so obviously you want to kind of do the merge where you bring in allomancy and merge it up with ferochemy. That's what I'm thinking. But that's my thoughts on that.
So a person could do both. Interesting.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a reason why you needed the two bodies. This is Alondo's theory time. So that was what I was thinking is like that's the reason why it was important that it was a terrorist man, is so that way you could bring the ferochemy. So that way it gives them the ability to do to reach beyond the allomantic capabilities that they already had.
Yeah.
But that's, again, we haven't, no proof, no evidence, whatever. That was just Alondo theory time.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's like the spike going through one and then into the other, if there's like a transfer from the top body to the bottom body. Like if an inquisitor dies, if they just take the body and then put somebody else in it. I don't know.
Or maybe this is part of that, maybe this is like an evolution of their, creation process. They're like, okay, well, we're only limited to the metals we have because they're not like Mistborn, right? I mean,
yeah, they can do a lot of the same stuff Mistborns can.
They can, but now if you can have that ability to store metals through ferochemy using, the death of a terroristman, then yeah. I mean, it's a unfortunately, there's a lot of sacrificing going on, but I mean, if it gives you like ultimate power, like Jafar, hey, why not?
Unlimited power.
Yeah,
the Emperor.
Oh yeah, that's right, the Emperor. Force lightning, guy.
Yeah, anybody watch the Star Wars friggin' marathon all weekend?
No,
I kind of bopped in and out of it.
We've had it on like all day.
I love a good marathon, by the way.
Yeah,
Star Wars marathon, Harry Potter marathons. Those are great because there's so many movies. It's better than watching like a Christmas Story like on a loop for like 20.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and saw Mark Hamill young, and then I just went upstairs before this and saw Mark Hamill, old,
aged up.
Yeah.
Yes.
12 hours later.
Nice.
Cool. Happens. So anything from this prologue before we move on? We got poor Marsh. We got weird stuff happening. Inquisitor making something happening, and then ruin. Those are the main takeaways.
We now have a title for this process: hemalurgy.
Hemalurgy. Yeah. So we have ferochemy, allomancy, and hemalurgy as different concepts, at least. So, chapter 1. I am unfortunately the hero of ages. let's talk about it. What's your thoughts on from part 1, Legacy of the Survivor, the first line, I am unfortunately the hero of ages.
Well, that's got to be what's his name, Rashik. Anyway,
Mhm.
the Lord.
Our Lindy, our Lord Rashik, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, you didn't trick me because I got warned. We got that whole thing at the end of the last book about how it was like,
Mhm.
don't get tricked. And if my boy does get tricked, you got to be there to kill him before he gets tricked. And then you have to take the power.
Yeah.
You know, like what's my wife's favorite movie? The Last Dragon. You got the power. So he's got to take the power because he's the last dragon. And it's a reluctant thing. And so young guy doesn't know what to do with it, has no clue what he's doing, which always we're going to find out in the next couple chapters with these like epitaphs. It's like, yeah, you don't, I'm sorry, epigraphs. Yeah, it's like he doesn't know exactly what he's doing on a global scale.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So
when they tell you ascend to godhood, you start to learn real fast. You ascend to godhood.
What godhood means. It's like, no, it doesn't mean you can open cornflakes like first try. You have to open a little plastic bag inside of a box of cornflakes. And you're always like, oh, God damn it, I can't get the bag open. And you're like, godlike power. He's like, oh, I rip it easily. No, it's like, you like can make cornflakes like blue. Like, just for, like, just random. Just blue cornflakes. Why not? No, this guy's like altering the freaking like world. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead.
We'll get to,
but the fact that he's like the hero of ages, and he had to be, but unfortunately he had to sacrifice or kill the person who was set up to be the hero of ages, but he didn't understand what the responsibility was.
Yep. So this book opens up a few months, or not a few months, several months. I think it's almost like a year after the events.
Exactly 1 year. It sounds like,
like 1 year. And we start out in the point of view of this guy named Fatrin, who is in this little small town. It's been devastated by it's being about to be devastated by a horde of Kolos.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also been killer mist around and things like that. Things are just not good. And they're, they have, reports of an approaching Kolos army, and they're pretty much getting ready to die. I mean, they're kind of like trying to figure out, is there a chance? Like, can we run? Like, what are our options at this point? I think we're just pretty much dead. And soon a lone rider comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And the rider comes in with definitely some flair and fashion. And identifies himself as their emperor, Ellen Venture.
But wait, this guy, he like hops up. He just pops up on top of the what do they call that? I keep wanting to call it
wall. But
the barricade, but whatever it's called. He just hops up there on top of I'm gonna call it the garrison for right now because I don't remember what it's actually called. He just hops up there like it's no big deal, and they're like, "Oh, he's an Allomancer," and the way that, and by the way, my man gets ready to pull the sword, and Ellen's like, "Hey, nice sword you got here." Hey, you got some good steel here. All right, I see what you're doing here.
He's being a little smooth.
I'm like, when did Ellen go from like, oh man, I got stabbed, and oh, I think I could do the Alaman, and now he's like, yeah, I got the skills. I got the skills to pay bills.
It's been a year. He's been a Mistborn now for a year. So he's
and it took me a second to remember though that then it took her about a year for her to go from like, I mean, she had some understanding of what she could do.
Sure.
But she went from kind of zero to hero pretty quick.
Yeah.
And he obviously trained with Vin.
Right.
So boom, there you go. Yeah, but he came in like a straight
Palisade?
I cannot remember what they call it.
The ramparts, Palisade, I don't know.
We are all synonymously talking,
About the same stuff.
circumlocuting the same thing. We will get there eventually.
Yeah.
But he came in like a straight pimp. I mean, I was like, okay. I like how you do.
Oh yeah. He definitely came in with some flair.
Oh yes.
So what are your thoughts on the new Ellen? I mean, on the more confident. I mean, he was always confident, but he's never confident in physical ways.
He wasn't always confident. He was always smart.
There you go. That's
He was smart. I don't really feel like he was confident when he was
That's a good
king.
point.
Will's, please, what's your thoughts, man? You go.
Bulwark.
I was gonna say embankment, but I think bulwark might be right.
Oh man, I really wish I could remember the phrase.
I was laughing because they were building that, like, it seemed like a little like dirt wall they were building, and they're like, yeah, these Kolas, they sound pretty bad, but we're still gonna try. It's like,
but they weren't committed.
Yeah, they said it was like 7,000 people in the city, of which 2,000 were like trained Ska soldiers that they've been trained for a year, but still like
trained.
Talking about Kolos army.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ellen shows up and like levitates off his horse and flips the sword around, and yeah, it was cool to see him. Like, he just walked up in there like a boss and took control. I think at one point, like, Fats, I'm gonna call it, like, Fatrin is like, he's like, well, like, why should I trust you? He's like, no, because if you don't, then I'll fucking take it from you. And he's like, so you're a tyrant? And he's like, I used to not want to be that way, but I've realized at this point in time I have to be that way because people are stupid.
Yeah. But like, I'm happy to let you stay in control and let people think that you're still in control. Like, I'm not trying to assert my authority and be like, I'm in charge here. Like, I don't want that. I will do that if I have to. Like, I will 100% just smite you right now and take control. But we don't have to do that. Like,
it's like all the years of Ellen's, political theory studies, like, he's actually getting to put them into place now after having failed, like, he got thrown into the fire with Luthadel.
Yes.
Right. And now they've come out of that, and he's like had a year to rethink things and analyze. And now he's like, I don't know, seems to be in a much better place.
Yeah. He tried that lead by committee, and it failed him.
Exactly.
Terribly, right?
Exactly. Yeah. He said, screw that. We're not doing that anymore.
And
yeah, man.
It's interesting too, because he's talking. They're like, well, like, how are you going to help us? Like, it's like, well, I'll get you guys all ready to go. I brought an army with me myself, and I got 2 more armies coming. They won't be here in time, but they're going to be shortly behind the Kolos. So we got some more stuff. We got backer coming, so we're good. And he's like, you're gonna do what by yourself? He's like, yeah, no, don't worry about things. We're good.
What about that boss move he does where he's like, oh yeah, glad I was able to show up after your missive that you sent me. So Abel, I got here in time. And he's like, what did you wait? I didn't send shit to you. Oh, you trying to make okay. That was a baller move as well. I mean, he was
like, makes him save face. I mean, he's trying to help the guy out. Like,
he went double winks on that one. And my man was like, yeah. Thanks for responding, my guy. And the other dude was like, there's no way you sent this guy a letter. He was like, hush up, my guy. Hush up. Let's go with it. Yup.
I must have missed that, but
it's just smooth baller moves all around though. Ellen's on another level right now.
Yeah,
good for him.
It's diplomacy at its finest, as Thatcher says in chat.
Well said, Thatcher. Yes, it is diplomacy at its best. Yes.
Yeah. So finally, at the end of this chapter, the Kolos army comes within sight, and they start setting up camp. And Ellen's like, "Oh, they're not going to charge right away. All right, get everybody
time
together.
to attack.
We're going to attack." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like it's the only way to beat Kolos. Like, you can't let them get whipped up into a frenzy. Then we're screwed. Like, but
he's like, once
if they're calm,
that frenzy rage.
If they're calm, element surprise. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, Fatrin's just like, no, we can't. But then, like, he looks back to his men, and they're all like, let's go with this new guy. And they're like, he's like, guess this is what we're gonna do then.
Yep.
Realize the townspeople's behind him, and he really doesn't have a choice. So they're going to assault. Even like he does like that backhanded compliment on like the fortifications around. He's like, you got some pretty nice walls here, but
Mhm.
yeah, let's do it my way because this ain't shit.
Yeah, he's like it's so diplomatic about they won't last.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the people over here so that when they come in and they don't find them, and then we'll come around the corner and we'll
Yeah.
hit them in the back and blah blah blah. Because he's like, your shit won't hold.
Yeah. Will not hold at all.
It
And
will
he
not
tries,
hold.
yeah, get all the women, children on the far side of the city and hide. And he says,
Uh-huh.
because the thing is, they whip into a fury, but once that bloodlust and that drives down,
Right.
they'll switch from killing to looting, and then it gives a good
Yeah.
chance to escape.
Yep.
But trying to escape while they're in that rage mode, like as soon as you move, they're coming after you to kill you.
Yep.
So, I mean, Alan's like, I've dealt with these things before. I know how this works. So
Yeah.
So yeah, anything from chapter 1 before we move to chapter 2, which is another one of these sad chapters.
It's so weird. This whole chapter, listening to Ellen come from a place of violence and battle and fighting, and he was never that kind of guy. All up until now, he was
Mhm.
never that guy, and it's just such a departure from what we know of Ellen. So to hear
Yeah.
this other voice of his
Yeah,
is like, it's almost jarring,
sure.
but it's refreshing too, because it's like,
But you
wow,
also
I mean,
understand like what he's being, what he has to
he
be.
has seen things, and now it's like the guy died. I mean, essentially, he died,
Yeah,
and it has changed him so much. And it's like it's like the Grinch's heart growing 3 times his size that day or whatever. It's just like this guy just like leveled up
sure.
like overnight. I mean, to us overnight.
Yeah,
So it's really cool to see. So
yeah.
yeah, it's really
I like what Tara, my wife, said. She was like, "Yeah, I'm really glad to see Ellen doing this because I was getting a little bored of Vin last book." So it's
he
nice
kind
to
of ran his
see.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
nice to see Ellen.
Yeah, I see what she's saying. I
Yeah.
definitely see what she's saying. Yeah.
But boy, having 2 misborns, this really makes a power couple now, though, and we'll get to that in a couple of chapters. But
Yeah.
I know it's the
Oof.
one. Anyway, so chapter 2, holding the power did strange things to my mind. In just a few moments, I became familiar with the power itself, with its history, and within the ways it might be used. Yet this knowledge was different from experience, or even ability to use that power. For instance, I knew how to move a planet in the sky, yet I didn't know where to place it.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't be too close or too far from the sun.
So all of a sudden, we're talking about
Like,
moving planets.
I have the power to actually move the
Boom.
planet, but I have no idea like where actually to place a planet because I'm not an astrophysicist.
I
And
had
I'm
a lot
like,
of
wait,
stars
wait.
around
I'm
that.
like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
Did we just go from checkers to chess to like astrophysics? Wait, what? And I was like, okay, all right. I see how you doing.
Yeah, pretty crazy power that you get when you ascend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, Sanderson,
Man, the feeling of reading God's thoughts.
he could have delayed all of this information until the end of this book, right? No, he gives it
Mhm.
to us right up front. He's like, I'm not gonna mess around. This is what's going on here. Figure it out, keep filling the pieces, but here you go. And I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, because a lot of these epigraphs up until now have been like cryptic or
Mhm.
piecemeal,
Right.
and he's giving this stuff up
It's just-
front,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm just gonna front load it up here, and
Mhm.
now it doesn't take. It took me these prologue and 4 chapters
Right.
and get my whole theory together, and by the time I can even figure out my theory, he basically told me every piece of the theory. And I was like, oh well, I don't theorize nothing. He's already just explained the whole thing to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gave you flat out not even the breadcrumbs, just gave
Yep.
you the whole thing. Like,
Oh,
here it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Here it is. This is what happens.
yeah.
So yeah, chapter 2. This is a sad chapter. Tensoon. Our good old Kandra.
Is it really sad? I don't think it's sad.
I have a heart for Tensoon. So
Really? Because he killed Orseer.
he did eat Orseer.
I'm sorry. It's not sad to me. He killed Orseer.
He redeemed himself somewhat. He had a little redemption arc there.
Nah, this ain't no Dumb and Dumber. It completely redeemed yourself. No, not yet. Yeah,
Not
you
yet,
gave us
okay.
you gave us one of the biggest secrets, for all Kandra. I get that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Orseer was cool.
Yeah.
Hard stop.
Okay.
Orseer was cool.
Chad agrees with me at least. Tensoon forever. I'm with Alan. Yeah, thank you, Chad.
Fine.
All right. So Tensoon's in a prison cell in the Kandra homeland, which we don't know where that is. And he's
Right.
waiting his sentence. Or whether he'll be put to death or not. And at this point, his form lacks any bones or even sensory organs. He can just feel the vibrations in the cell, and he has sentient thoughts. But that's about it. Doesn't he have eyes or anything?
We don't
that?
know how he got out of the form. We
Well,
know
they
about the
removed all the
vibration.
bones from inside of him, so he's just like a blob.
Yeah, so how did they get him out of him? I mean, does the vibration thing, is that what happens? You can vibrate the bones out? I didn't know. We don't know,
We don't know.
but I'm curious.
Yeah. So he's a blob.
Mhm.
And you can feel the vibrations of the cell being opened, and he feels the pain of the hooks being put into this blob form to
Yeah.
lift him up. And by the first contract, he should have a chance to state his defense. But he immediately, and somewhat, even though he doesn't have sensory organs, can sense. I guess he gets he's learned enough tricks over the years to kind of create something, so he can sense or smell the acid. Because he's learned some tricks that even without bones, he can do things here. It just takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot out of him to do it. Yeah, and the guards give him a skull, so he can dissolve that. I think that's what it is. He gives him a skull so he can kind of get ahead and can talk a little bit.
Right, because they have to give him they have to. By the way, this is an asshole move, right? So they gave him the skull because it's a requirement that he has to give him the ability to speak on his own defense. But they tried to dole out the verdict before he can form around the skull to
they start pouring the acid in immediately.
I'm like, that's an asshole move all day long. Are we serious right now? It's like,
I'm just picturing this solution as have you heard Piranha solution?
no.
I know how to make it, but I'm not going to explain that because we're live right now, and I don't know if it's legal or not. But there's a chemistry solution you can make with home products that you can buy in stores. But it's called anything carbon will literally turn to it will eat away everything. There'll be no trace left. It'll turn to water and carbon dioxide. So it'll take all the carbon, combine it with the solution will actually dissolve any carbon-based life form or any kind of I guess Breaking Bad kind of gets into it, but they don't get the right formula.
Breaking Bad actually,
but they don't get the right formula in Breaking Bad, probably for good reasons. But that in the Ozarks, they do the same thing with the acid vats. If you ever seen the Ozarks, but yeah, so but there is a solution called Piranha solution that you can actually you can put anything that's carbon based.
Oh, I changed my VPN location to Australia before I Google that.
Change my VPN for Australia. But yeah, so anything you put in that's carbon based, it will completely dissolve to nothing.
Yeah,
you'll turn to water and to random gases.
Yep.
So literally will eat away at everything. But
yeah,
don't Google that, people. Please don't Google that. You'll be on the FBI.
Can you spell Piranha solution for me?
You know what? I did the what was it? The thing everybody listened to? Read back in the day, the terrorist cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be a thing where we was like, oh, don't look it
Yeah.
up, blah, blah, blah. The FBI will be after you. I read that thing cover to cover
Oh, good.
numerous times because
Dude.
I was just fascinated with the chemistry and whatever in
Sure.
that. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's certain things you shouldn't, blah, 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 blah,
Should
blah.
know how to do.
There is so much dangerous chemistry in the world. If the FBI was going to look and research all of that, there's a lot of us.
There's certain things that
in
like
trouble right now.
common household like things they tell you not to do because of what it does. Like so, like if you mix ammonia and like bleach together,
Yeah, I mean,
it creates chlorine gas, and
yeah,
it will kill you instantly.
it's basically as deadly as anything they used in World War One.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and most people have that in their house. It's
Yeah.
For cleaning products. Just don't, and they have warning labels saying don't mix these two cleaning products together because
Right.
it will create chlorine gas, and that will
Exactly.
kill you. It'll literally burn your lungs out instantly.
Oh yes.
So that's why you don't do it.
Mhm.
And the reason why I'm telling you that is because that's on the warning label. Don't do it. So yeah, so they start burning him. Yeah, twisting the words of the law around to like not even letting him really give him the opportunity to speak, but like not even
They
like
didn't realize how good he was, though, his
As-
ability to actually form around that skull. So they were
Yeah.
like, typically, like and he's talking about generations, by the way,
yeah.
of Contra, right?
Contra,
So he's
yeah.
talking about like they're like in the third generation now.
Mhm.
He's like talking about the second generation, first generation,
Yeah.
and he's from like that earlier generation.
Yeah, so he has
And so he
a
has
lot of experience.
so much experience that he's able to form the shape that's required around
His
that skull
speech,
quicker than
yeah.
normal people. And he's talking about forming the vocal cords and stuff, and then be able to speak. And he was like, "You can't handle the truth now."
Yeah. I feel it's like the parts of the Caribbean, like they're about to kill you, like parlay, and it's like, oh
Yep,
crap, that's part of the code. Like you can't.
Hey,
He said parlay.
Anyway,
He said parlay. Oh,
that's
crap.
right. That's right. So he was like, "What did he say? Judgment? I think it was."
He said judgment. Yeah,
Yeah, judgment.
Judgment.
Yeah.
And the guards are just like, really, you're gonna go through with this? You're gonna get embarrassment to all the Contra. Like, just take your
Yeah.
punishment, and like, we'll just kill you and be done. Like, just it's already over. Why are you gonna bring this out to the public? Like, he's like, I have the right. Like, I demand trial by combat.
Yeah, yeah, that's some Game of Thrones nonsense right there.
Yeah.
Well, Song of Ice and Fire, technically.
Yeah.
So interesting though, he said that he thought that they wouldn't kill him because they would want to know who he told the secret to.
Yeah.
And then they started like dropping acid, and he was like, "Oh, I guess they don't care." So they were just like, "Nah, we don't care. Nah.
Yep.
It dies with you. Bye, Felicia."
Yeah. So he's still, he's persistent. He desires to, make something of his own defense for breaking his
Yeah.
contract.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the punishment for breaking your contract is death. But you have the right to a trial. And he calls for his right as they're pouring the acid on him. And they have to stop. They're like, damn it. So that's how we end this chapter. It's a really short chapter, but it's a little bit of torturous, a little tough. But any thoughts on this weird? I mean, this is not that weird of a system of government because it's very similar to a lot of our systems, but it's weird with blobs.
Will, you tell me, are you team Tensoon or you team Orseer?
Man, Contras are weird. I don't know what team I'm on. I guess I have to be Tensoon now because Orser is no longer around.
Yeah, there's no one to be a team on, man. He's gone.
I'm still on Team Orseer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trusting his Force Ghost right now.
Yeah,
I was just picking up on like you said, the generation things and the contracts. I mean, he talks about how the first contract means like they're not supposed to hold him in prison for long, so they have like a law system or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, more complexities with the Condra. But
And like Zool, I mean, whenever I read these books, I loved learning about Contra. Like everything about their culture has fascinated me. I don't know if it fascinates you guys. Bags of Antlers are so much fun to me.
Yeah, that's
very, very.
I don't like it because there's so much left out, and I know there's so much more to it, and I just want more. I want to know. So I'm like, oh, here we go, a little snippet here and there, and then we're gone. He got some acid poured on him, and next chapter.
Yep.
So I want to know all about these things, but
It's the dip from Roger Rabbit. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that comment, by the way, Pythos. Bravo on you on that dip, which is still one of the most horrifying things in that movie.
It's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie, and
the kids
shoe
movies
gets
in the
dropped in the
80s and
dip and-
90s were wild, man. Were wild. I mean, Gremlins was a kids movie. It was done by Disney. Gremlins. Like,
it was not a kids movie, not the
but it
first
was
one, dude.
pitched,
No,
but it was pitched as a kids movie.
no, it was not pitched as a kids movie.
I think it was originally PG. Like,
Are you sure? I thought it was PG-13. Well, I don't know what the
No.
first PG-13 movie came after that. Yeah,
so it was 1984. It was rated.
Yeah, that's after because PG-13 I think came out like 1980.
Yeah, it was rated PG. Yes, it was rated PG.
Like yeah.
Like, which is it's not
But
PG.
but funny enough though, and I love having this conversation. The weird dichotomy between Gremlins and Gremlins 2 is like the most hilarious thing ever. It's like
It is.
they just went full just comedy on the second one.
Yeah,
and I
originally
loved it.
Originally, it was rated PG, so it was marketed to kids. Which
PG don't mean kids. PG means parental guidance.
But PG movies traditionally were like PG-13 was like you have to be like at least a middle schooler. PG was like you can be an elementary school kid and watch this movie.
You could, but you need to have a parent give you guidance. And then you talk to you about, well, when you blend a gremlin in a blender or put them in a microwave and have them explode, these are the ramifications.
That's interesting. So they created the PG-13 rating because of Gremlins.
Is that true? Oh,
I don't know
really?
if that's true or not, but that makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, wow, man, that's a hot take if that's true.
If that's
didn't
true,
know
that's
that.
a really hot take because it's.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
you go back to like because I watched it as a kid too, and it terrified me. And then you like go back in as an adult, and like there's a whole scene where, like the little girl is talking to like the main guy character, and he's like talking about her dad and how she lost her dad and how he left, and he's
Santa
like,
Claus,
he
and then
got
died
stuck.
in the chimney.
He got stuck in the chimney. And died.
Yeah, I thought that the thing that I thought the thing that created PG-13 was because there was actually like mild nudity in a movie, and that the MPAA was not happy about it.
Yeah,
I thought that was the reason why, and I don't remember any nudity.
Like the
in
people in the
Gremlins.
70s and 80s, PG was anything. PG anything was for kids. Yeah, in the 80s and 70s and 80s,
It was pretty
like,
much assumed though. If it was PG, you could be 7 years old and go into your local movie theater and be like, I want to see Indiana Jones and the face melting scene at the very end of that movie. By the way, PG, Raiders of the Lost Ark, face, skull, skin melting scene, which is like one of the most horrifying things.
So at the movies, that's true. It was also that the Temple of Doom, which came out around the same time, Spielberg had suggested a new rating system based on.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because he came in with the
it pulled the heart out. Things we saw as kids.
Come here hot. Man, it's the second Temple of Doom reference in the episode.
There you go. So Gremlins. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Gremlins now.
Dang it, we forgot to do the bingo card. Ugh.
Well, I talked about that, Will, before you came on before the stream, but yeah, we'll do
I'm
we'll do it at some point.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it used
We'll
to
get
be
on
just
top of
G,
that.
PG, R, and X before that. Yeah,
That's right.
and then they created a PG-13, NC-17. Yeah, they had a bunch of not rated in R, which was like you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, because it wasn't Midnight Cowboy X rated.
Yeah, there was a couple like in R's, like they were not rated, and it wasn't because of like it was because of graphic violence, and it was like extreme graphic violence, and it wasn't because like nudity or like it was a sex film. It was just beyond R. Like some horror movies were like that too. But yeah,
You call him Dr. Jones. Love it, man. I'm gonna be like spouting Indiana Jones references all night now. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. All right.
So history lesson on the rating system that we use in America, which doesn't apply to any of our international listeners because they use a completely different system. So yeah, whatever.
They don't care about any of that stuff. They're like, we see boobies all the time. Whatever. You puritanical Americans.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Back to the
So,
book.
so
All right.
Tinsin, we got done with that chapter. On to chapter 3.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to keep on reading these epigraphs because they're so great in this book.
They are great. Yes.
In some ways, having such power was too overwhelming, I think. This was a power that would take a millennia to understand. Remaking the world would have been easy had one been familiar with the power. Yet I realized the danger inherent in my ignorance. Like a child suddenly given awesome strength, I could have pushed too hard and left the world a broken toy I could never repair. Like
yeah.
when you instantly become a god, like you think it's be a cool thing becoming a god, and then you realize that like the power that you get instantly, like you have no idea like what to do with this.
Now, of course, I'm reading these things, and I'm like, why would you need to move the world? Right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna just tell you where my mindset was at this moment. And I was like, why would you want to move the world? You want to move the world closer to the sun. Because it's clear he's closer to the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to heat up something. Why would you want to heat something up? And I was like, what are you trying to get rid of? And then I was like, the mist. You're trying to get rid of the mist. And I was like, because you don't know.
Because he talked about it beforehand. The mists were falling. The mists were around. And they were
Right.
following him. And there's something in the mist. And he was terrified of them.
Right. So you're trying to get rid of this thing. You don't know what it does. It can kill. We obviously know now it can kill, right? Indiscriminately. So it's like, why would you want to get rid of how would you get rid of the mist? Well, typically you would just evaporate it, right? Best way to do that, anybody who's seen fog knows in the middle of the day, fog doesn't happen in the middle of the summertime day because there's enough heat. It might happen during the wintertime because it's too cold, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, oh, let me just move the planet just like a little bit closer. But the thing he didn't realize is, and this is a guy that I love astrophysics, worked for NASA for a little bit. The orbit of planets is in a ellipse that goes around the sun. So what happens is at certain points in time, it's going to be really super hot, and then at other times maybe a little colder or whatever. If you're trying to warp that, moving it a couple, let's say, I'm going to say hundreds of miles closer, maybe helps you out temporarily, but then later on it's like, oh, well, it's going to be all these other effects, and then it's not an exact science. So it's like he's like, it's not like, oh, well, there's like a perfect circle. It's going to be that temperature all year round, which is why we have seasons. So I'm like, okay, so now he realizes these are the ramifications of moving the world, right? Because you have that power. You're like, I'm going to move the world a little bit closer, and now he's having to deal with all the fallout from that. And that was my theory. And now it's getting confirmed every epigraph we get now.
Yeah, and there's a couple of like really good programs you can use. There's a space flight program that you can get on your phone, which is a little fun because you can build like a rocket and try to get into orbit. But like it uses real physics and real mathematics.
I know which one you're talking about because I've used it before. I can't remember the name.
And it's a lot of fun, and you can play around with it and see like when you're on the opposite side of the world in orbit, and it doesn't take much field acceleration to exponentially increase the ellipse on the other side. Like but if you go at a different angle of attack, I'm calling it, like it takes a whole lot of field energy to do the same. Like you can learn a lot from like just using those simulations and being able to visualize it without having to do the math, and realize that you said slight movements can make huge ramifications.
Yeah. And actually SpaceX, they have one. They have an app that you a program that you can. I don't think they made it. I think they co-opted it.
Okay.
That's probably the wrong term. I don't want to say they co-opted it. But anyway, they have one that they actually use to tell people, like, to train people, like, this is how we do what we do and how exact it has to be, et cetera, et cetera. and how complex it is. Yeah, the maths at the end, but I mean, getting it right is such an exact science, which is the reason why the investment to get a rocket up and out of the atmosphere is crazy expensive, because all you need is one thing to go wrong, or one trajectory to be off by like literally millimeters off.
Mhm.
Because when you take something that's a millimeter off here, but then have it extend from miles or kilometers, I mean,
Right.
that 1 millimeter
Yeah.
expanded up.
Yeah.
It's like now it's like up in the sky. You're talking about like now you're like kilometers off,
Right. Exactly.
which is enough to actually create turbulence, other issues, and then eventually the destruction of a rocket. So
yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
So, getting to chapter 3. So, leading the charge, Ellen is musing about how Alamancy has given him the abilities to be in this position. He's thinking about this. His assumptions are correct. As soon as they break into the Colos are completely startled and like taken back by like, you really did this?
yeah,
Like they're completely caught off guard. And it gives them enough time. Like they actually get a pretty good amount of like killing of this Kolos before the blood frenzy kicks in.
yeah. They were on their
Um,
own.
yeah, they hold their own for a little bit, but eventually
Yeah.
there's enough Kolos there that the tides turn pretty quickly on them.
Yeah.
And he calls for the men, and at this point they're starting to get their ass kicked. Men are dying all around them. Ellen calls for the men to farm up. He starts to soothe all of them to try to get away the fear and pushing the emotions on them and stuff like that. And Fatrin actually comes up at some point. It's like, yeah, I'm losing confidence in your plan. Like this is not working out. Like we need to fall back. This is not working. And Ellen just points to this little speck in the sky and said, "Remember when I told you I had some armies coming? There's one of them."
Man, another great entrance.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
for her. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Vin doing Vin things.
Doing Vin things.
Yeah. Yeah.
The little speck in the sky coming down. And Vin comes in and just lands in the middle of a group of Kolos. And I don't know how it describes it. Like a storm of death, I think is what it says. Like it'd be just acrobatics, just Vin doing Vin things.
Yep. And for anybody that has seen the MCU movies, it's like that scene in Avengers Infinity War when Thor, Rocket, and Groot landed in the middle of like all those Centauri, like in Wakanda. Just like they just like took the it just landed and they just started just beating ass all around.
Yeah. That's Vin.
So.
And Vin starts taking on some of the bigger ones, of course, because that's what she does, and seeking out 13-foot Kolos, and they're all kind of taken back because here's this little tiny girl, and it's just taking out the biggest Kolos, and she's just going for the biggest ones first.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they're trying to press and soothe their and trying to press onto the Kolos to take control of them. And it explains that that's what they're trying to do, but there's something blocking them. It doesn't really explain at first what that is. It just says that like something else is controlling them, and it's harder to take control when they're not just mindless idiots. If someone else has already have control of them, it's harder to press through and break that through. So these are being controlled by something else. So we find out really fast what that is, but yeah. So thoughts on this opening.
Doesn't she actually succeed in like gaining control of a few of them?
Let's do the smaller ones, and that completely takes the Kolos off by guard as well, because one of the small ones turns and immediately starts swinging at one of the bigger ones, and they're just like, the Kolos is completely taken back by the fact that a Kolos is now attacking them, and it definitely creates more chaos into the whole entire situation. But
now, guys, tell me, I mean, and if it's theory time, go ahead and throw theories out.
It's
I didn't
always
understand,
theory time.
Always
Yes.
their time.
man. So that's just why I love theory times. So I don't know the answer to this question, which is why I'm asking the question. I didn't understand. I mean, it seemed like Ellen had been trying to do this the whole time,
Mhm.
trying to take over
The Colossus.
any Colossus, right?
Mhm.
And then she popped in and she was able to take over like one or two.
Mhm.
Why all of a sudden is she able to take over like one or two?
Practice.
Okay.
Practice.
Because she
Well,
didn't burn Duralumin.
Practice. Practice. Practice.
AI.
You talking about
AI,
practice?
Yes. By the way, your boy went on a rant on a podcast the other day.
Oh, AI did.
No. From I was listening to the
Will
the
Reeds.
Wheel Reeds, and man, he went into that practice joint for like minutes. By the way, I didn't comment because I was listening to it on my phone, and I was
Okay.
like, I had to have time to type, and he went into that practice rant forever, and I was like, damn,
Practice.
he was going.
We talking
off.
about practice.
I can't remember what was that about.
Yeah, there was an interview with Allen Iverson years ago, and like in the middle.
No.
of the,
I'm talking about on the wheel
The,
of
the name,
time.
the Will Reeds. The name of the chapter was practice.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
Who did Chris go off?
I think it was Ian. But
No,
yeah,
it was Ian.
Yeah,
Ian went bananas.
Still Newport News people that
yeah. News
understand.
people and Allen Iverson. We're
A-
like,
Anyone from
anyway.
Newport News who's anybody knows about the practice interview.
Oh
is
yes,
Allen Iverson.
absolutely. But Ian went off talking about practice, and I laughed my ass off. If I was near a keyboard and I could have typed all the LOLs, I would have went in. So
yeah.
anyway, back to my question. So we're saying that Vin was able to take over Colossus because she had practice working.
She's done it. She's done it multiple times now
Got it.
before.
Okay.
So like when
And
she did it with the
Ellen's
Conjure, she
like-
did it with the whole entire Colossus army back in Luthadel. I mean, she's
Right.
done it a lot of times. I mean,
She used Duralumin to do it, but still, she knows the triggers
Yeah.
and the handles to pull.
knows where to push.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
she's
yeah.
done it a bunch of times at this
Got it.
point.
Got it. All right.
But there's still something resisting most of them. And they quickly figured that out because once they start to pull some of them, they realize that there's a Steel Inquisitor close by. And he's controlling the Colossus, and he's not. At the beginning, he's not engaging, but eventually he does
Yeah.
engage. And
Got it.
yeah,
They talked about how her taking control of those few forces, emphasis on the word forces, the Inquisitor to come out of the shadows.
yeah,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. Which is, man, that was spooky, by the way, to me. Because that means he was sitting there just hanging around watching the whole time, Southfield. The whole time. Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire reference on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So the combination of Ellen and Vin taking control of Colossus definitely pulls the Steel Inquisitor in. 'Cause, like, at that point, he's realized that the two of them together now can push onto them, and he needs to join the fray. So once they pull him out of the shadows, as you said, and he joins the fight, they immediately try to go into the trick of, I guess Ellen tries to take this spike out of his back, but the Inquisitor's gotten smart now. Since they realize that they know their weaknesses, they put steel plates back there now. There's a big metal plate protecting that back spike.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, hold on. You skipped part because
Okay.
when the Inquisitor shows up, then has to burn a new metal we learned about.
Yeah, that's right,
Yes.
Will. Will, nice.
Yeah,
took a lot of
they
notes.
have
That took a
found.
lot
I
of
love
notes.
it. I love it. That's right.
Electrum.
Because Will, I
Electrum.
didn't see that. I was like, wait, what? We ain't heard of this before.
Yeah,
Electrum.
Electrum.
Yeah.
Which is
like
poor-
gold.
the poor man's ATM.
Poor man's atrium. And I was like, what?
Yeah. And so like
Nice.
it's not like I'm gonna butcher this because I didn't write exactly what it said, but it sounds like it allows her to see the future movements she could potentially do.
It's yeah,
Something
essentially
like
do. It's
that.
not quite ATM.
Right.
So, but it allows you to see like kind of like ATM, but does not the full like see what they're gonna do, but see all your possibilities.
What you could
Does that
do.
make sense?
Yeah.
So you can't see their possibilities, but you can see all your possibilities and see what will land. So like
Right.
but it negates ATM, and it's a lot easier to burn. It doesn't burn up as fast, and they can make it. Whereas ATM, they have to find it. They can't
All right.
make
Well, I don't know how important that is, but we got
Oh, Will, it's
Hemalurgy.
crazy important,
We
dude.
got Electrum.
And you know,
Hemalurgy and Electrum. In
Electrum
the
is a
first
real-
4 chapters.
Yeah, Electrum is a real alloy that exists today. If you guys didn't know that, so little fun fact: it's a natural and artificial alloy of gold and 20% silver,
Stop reading
Used-
Wikipedia.
used often for jewelry, and also in ancient times was used for all sorts of things.
Nice.
Electrum was really common in
I thought
Roman.
that was a
and Greek-
Pokemon.
Yeah, in Greek
Yeah,
and
so
Roman culture, Electrum was used for jewelry quite often. It's not
Gotta catch
used
'em all.
as often today, but yeah, it's silver and gold mixed together.
Nice.
But yeah, my next note was about the when she like rips the robe off of the Inquisitor.
Look at Will bringing those receipts.
Nice.
I think I took more notes for this. Look at this. Look at
Nice.
Oh, wow,
Look at
wow,
you. Look
wow.
at you.
Wow.
this. Look at this.
Hey, hey.
And it's all broken up into sections.
Oh, hey, wait, look,
Um,
you channeling your inner Alando. Hey.
Yeah,
'Cause
it was a
Doughboy
new
does the
thing I
same
tried.
thing.
I like it.
actually have mine segmented out too by chapter.
It was inspired by because I see you like scrolling through your thing, so I was like, I'm gonna try my notes on my phone.
Uh-huh.
I actually
Yeah, I
like
use
doing
my
that.
iPad to do it. So
Yeah.
Because like for the other 2 books, I would actually write in the book, old school.
Yeah.
But
I do the pen thing, and then I like have like little dash marks that actually show like
break.
separate chapters. So yeah, you're doing the exact same thing as I do.
I like it. It worked for me.
There you
But-
go. Yeah.
Yeah, but like she rips the robe off of the Inquisitor and shows they described it as like a turtle shell on the
So now he's a
spike.
Koopa Troopa.
Yeah. They're like, damn, we can't get it now. I'm like, just take it off, dude. You're an Allomancer.
Yeah.
Fucking rip
Yeah.
that off.
Yeah.
All I heard when he said it was a turtle shell, all I could think it was do 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 do.
By the way, for the new Super Mario Brothers movie, did anybody watch that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, sure enough.
Of course, peaches, man.
2 thumbs
Peaches,
up.
peaches, peaches, peaches.
I just watched
peaches.
that like last week. It was really good.
I got kids,
Yeah.
man. I
You
got
know they're gonna make a
kids.
sequel.
Of course, I watched it.
That thing made too much money. Hollywood doesn't let anything go. They're like, oh, we're definitely gonna burn this into the ground.
Recycle.
Yep.
Yeah. Rinse and
We're
repeat.
gonna drive this into the ground. Hey, I want every pile driver you can get.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's
It's
coming.
coming. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. Yeah. Yeah. so yeah, they Ellen joins Vin's struggle on top of the hill. They're fighting Kolos. They're trying to pull it away while trying to fight a Inquisitor, which we know from the first 2 books, or at least from the first book, especially. Inquisitors aren't really in the second book that much, but they ain't no joke to fight. Like, and now their tricks are being covered up with their tortoise shell. So you know, I mean, you can do the old Kelsier way, and that's what they end up doing.
Yeah, trying to go for that.
Go for that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what ends up, you know, they end up doing. But yeah, yeah, it was able to. I guess what they were able to take control of Kolos and have a Kolos do it to kind of take him off guard. Wasn't it Kolos that kills the Inquisitor? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, kind of. I mean, it's a Kolos by way of being taken over.
Sure,
Right.
yeah, but
So,
that was their
yeah.
trick. Was rather like they're focused so much on them. Vin was able to push into a Kolos next to him and then redirect
so-
the flow. And
He whips around and they're trying to behead him, but instead of beheading the Inquisitor, it ended up just like bashing his
head in.
head in,
It
which
did the trick.
they're like, oh, okay, so that could kill him too. Cool.
Cool. That's the trick.
Yeah.
It was right at the right moment, right before it had a chance to kill Ellen, because it was getting ready to go in for the kill on Ellen too. So fun fight scenes. Of course, once the Steel Inquisitor's dead, we'll get to this in the next. Well, not so much the next hour, but that you assume that they can take full control now of all the Colossus and the battle's over. Because once the force stopping you from taking control is gone, they have the ability to just take control. Are we talking about peaches of President's Hot USA? Yeah.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
For me, yeah.
Peaches for
Dude,
me.
I used to back in middle school, man. Pot USA was the thing, man.
It's such a good song.
It is a great song, and I
Such a good
sing it
song.
all the
I
time.
want to rock out to that right now.
That's just a good happy song. It's a good happy song to sing anytime. I mean, come on.
The best 4 chords ever written.
Yeah.
Well, those 4 chords are reused in like so many different.
Every Weezer song.
We could have used President of the United States of America for the Tensoon chapter. We could use lump. Lump settle.
Yeah.
He's just a lump of flesh.
I'm mad I laughed at that. I'm mad I laughed at that. But it's true. We could have used lump.
In the park.
He's lump. He's lump.
He's lump.
He's lump. He might be dead.
Why didn't they just name that song Meat Sack?
Meat sack.
Meat sack. Bag of antlers. Come on.
Now we're showing our age. If anyone that's younger that listens to our podcast doesn't know who presidents of the United States of America are as a band,
man,
you
get
gotta go
on
check
that.
them out. They are
check them all out. And then, of course, I would also go into who sang Winona's Big Brown Beaver? Big Brown Beaver.
Oh, that's
Primus.
Primus, yeah.
All the Primus stuff too at the same time is just as good.
Who's the lead singer of Primus?
Oh shoot, you asking
the
questions?
bassist.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
the
my
front
tongue.
man, bassist.
I can't remember.
I
Les
saw
Claypool.
them live.
Les Claypool.
Les Claypool. Thank
Oh
you.
my god, I knew that. Oh
Yeah.
shoot, I forgot I knew
I
that.
had to. Everybody
Oh
knew that.
shoot.
Yeah, Les
I
Claypool.
just
Dude,
like,
I
oh,
saw
I don't
them
know that,
live in
dude.
Charlottesville, and they
What a
had
great-
2 like 30-foot tall astronaut blow up things on the stage.
Oh nice.
They had like projected images into the screens of the astronauts on stage. It was real cool.
There you
Pretty
go.
sure schools
Real
still
trippy.
teach kids who presidents are.
Okay, Iris. Okay, I got you. I got you. You got them jokes. You got them jokes. All right.
My 13-year-old asked me what they meant by the song Peaches.
What does it mean though?
I mean, if you go by the
Is this YA appropriate?
oh, I don't know. We're not talking about a YA appropriate book, so
They're talking about peaches, like they grow in a tree. They're put and they put them in
You
a
were
can.
put there by a man
in a
in
factory
a
downtown.
factory downtown.
that's right.
One thing I wanted to highlight from that scene was Vin has like a little internal side note, and she's like looking at Ellen pushing on the Colossus, and she's like, "Whoa, that dude! When he pushes, he really freaking pushes."
She gave him respect for the amount of power he was able to deliver.
Yeah,
And not using
being a
Duralumin, by the way.
right, and being
Yeah.
a new Almancer, Mistborn. And I was like, okay, so Ellen's not only going to be like, powerful. He's going to be like, I think he's going to be more powerful than Ben. At least maybe in certain metals.
Maybe so.
I guess pewter in particular for one. But
And Vin comments on how powerful Ellen is. Like, Ellen is super powerful.
yeah,
Or like, and she's. I think she even hints to it, like wondering if it has to do with how he was made into a Mistborn. Like, because he's not like born a Mistborn.
go on.
That's all I'm gonna say. Rafa.
Tell me more.
Rafa.
I know. I was waiting for you to kind of spill beans right there. I was like, I'm going to be quiet.
Rafa.
Man,
So,
Will, I bet you were just like me. You were like, "Oh, he's about to give away."
Yeah.
stuff."
Go on.
If he's quite continue.
I'm like,
Tell me more. But she just commented about how powerful and how skilled he's become so fast, like more than her. She does mention that, and that's all. I'm gonna leave that there. and I'm gonna go back to a whiskey, so I might spill more stuff.
Mm.
This is 120 proof, by the way. So,
Oh shoot, you going in? Okay.
yeah.
So where we left off was where where they took control of the Colossus and he
Mhm.
bashed in the head of the Inquisitor, right? I think we're
Yeah.
nearing.
And that's the end of the chapter because
Yeah, right.
the Colossus lowered their weapons. Ellen had won.
No. Yeah. Ellen gains control of like the whole Colossus army,
Right.
right? And then it's the end of chapter. They won,
Right.
which is pretty freaking epic. Like,
Epic. Yes.
Yeah.
it's huge.
Yeah.
They just came in there and saved
Could
that
you-
little town. And
Could you imagine these like villagers that like these two people just came in and just wrecked? I mean, like, because as a villager, you've heard of Mistborn. You've probably never seen one. You've heard the legends of them. But take yourself into the shoes of these like podunk villagers from the backwoods area of town, and you go into battle with your pitchforks against these monsters, and these two people come in and do this. Like, the reverence that probably follows. I mean, I'm just speculating, but
Well,
yeah.
first of all, they all got to bend the knee because they had to like
Yeah.
swear fealty.
would you let that dude be your emperor? I would.
Yeah. Don't have
You
much of a
kind of let him do
choice.
whatever he wants, right? Because I really kind of feel like whatever you don't give him, he can just take it.
Yeah,
right?
Mistborns must seem like gods to them. I mean, yeah, think
hell
about
yeah.
that. I mean,
shoot,
it's-
Mistborn seem like gods to me right now, and I'm like, I don't live there. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got all kinds of respect, and then I'm still trying to figure out
Yeah.
though because
Didn't we read how
Ellen
Ellen
said-
became Mistborn? Yeah, we did. We read about that in the Little Ascension. Yeah, he took.
I need to go
they
back
gave
and
him the
read
little
that.
piece
So-
of metal that was in the pottery. And
thank
then-
you, Zool, because I didn't think that he was Mistborn at the time. They made it seem like he was definitely a Misting, but then it was said that because he did, and I can't remember what the two things were that he did,
Yeah,
that he's probably Mistborn.
he burned Peter instantly.
Pewter, there it is. Okay, so Pewter, and I was like, okay, so they realized in that moment that he must be Mistborn, and I
But
just
it's
feel like it
because
was
he,
just
like Vin made him swallow that metal. Like, because remember the spirit pointed to the metal,
right.
and she was gonna take it for herself, and it's like, no, and pointed
No,
to
put it
him.
into him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that how he became a Mistborn?
So he had the metal from the little shard.
From the little piece of pottery or whatever that was broken?
Yeah,
in
the pottery
Yeah.
shard. So basically, he had the pottery barn shard.
Yep.
He ingested that. She was like, "Oh, please eat it, swallow it, blah blah blah." Even though you're dying,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he did, and because he was able to use that in the pewter. But the thing is, though, we didn't exactly know what that first metal was.
Yeah.
And we still don't know what it was.
We don't know what that metal was that she fed to him. No.
We have no idea what that metal was, but because he ate that metal and then was able to use pewter, the assumption was he's a Mistborn.
Mhm.
Even though we don't know what the first metal was. I was like, oh,
Well, no. So she gave him the metal, and then the only thing she had for liquid to have him wash it down was one of her vials. So that's why
Right.
he was able to burn.
which had
metal,
pewter in it.
which had all the metals in it.
Oh, it had all the metals.
because it was one of her vials.
Of course it would.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Thank you.
So I'm just confused because, like, is that how he became a Mistborn, or is that how he realized he is a Mistborn?
I feel like the little metal in the little piece of the thing, I don't know. I'm calling
What
it
is
the
that?
pottery piece because I feel like it was like a piece of pottery or something. It was like
Yeah,
shattered. Anyway, when he pulled the little piece of metal out of that and ate that, I feel like that awakened something in him.
yeah.
You still had the
Interesting.
capability, but I feel like
Yeah.
you still have to have the capability to do it.
I think I need to go back and reread that. I think I need to go back and.
I mean, it's
reread
really
that.
short, so I mean,
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
explain more to later. So Rafa.
yeah. I feel like we still don't even know what that was that was shattered, right?
What that
So it
piece
was
of metal was.
shattered.
What
and
that
there
piece of
was, like,
metal. Yeah.
There was like
No.
a bunch of stuff around
Yeah.
think of-
As far as what that little piece of metal was, I would say Rafa.
because it was like a. I mean, am I misremembering this? It was like a shard of something, and then it had metal in it, right?
Yeah,
Or am I misremembering
it was a
this?
piece of pottery and it had a piece
Pottery.
of metal
From the
Yeah.
Pottery Barn.
It was Pottery Barn.
Yeah, and it had this other metal. They had no idea what the metal was.
And it was
Like a
metal
bead-
embedded
It was
in
a
it,
bead
right?
that wasn't ATM. It was not an ATM bead, but there was
Oh,
a
no, it
bead
was
of
not
other
ATM.
kinds of metal
No,
that was sitting there as
no,
just
no,
one
no.
bead.
Tara chimed in.
What happened?
It's a shard.
Shard?
She said
How
shard.
how far is Tara into Cosmere?
Wait, am I
She's-
supposed to not be saying shard? Wait a minute.
she's
I'm
caught
being
up.
roasted for saying shard.
Okay.
Wait, what happened?
No, don't worry about shards.
Shard
Don't
barn.
do not worry about shards. Stop,
We're opening a
stop
new
with shard
store.
talk. Please do not talk about shard talk yet.
I feel like I'm like uttering the worst like
I'm just gonna say Raffo, 100%. Forget the word shard for now.
No!
We're on to something. We're on to something.
Too late. It's too
Forget
late.
the word shard.
Nope.
Completely.
I'm writing it in my iPad
I'm getting a
1,000 times
t-shirt.
right now.
I'm getting a t-shirt.
Shard. That's right. That's right. Shard.
The shard
Yeah.
barn. I love
We're gonna
it.
open a store.
Yes.
Shard barn. It's
We're
the
gonna go to
barn.
Pottery Shard now. All right.
Okay. Anyway, we'll talk more about stuff later.
Okay. Yes. All right.
So, chapter 4.
Specifically shards.
Chapter 4. Dude, we're gonna get canceled as a podcast if I keep it going on. So no more talk about shards. Chapter 4. So start with the epigraph, not Taff graph. This is actually what happened to Rashik, I believe. He pushed too hard. He tried to burn away the mist by moving the planet closer to the sun, but he moved it too far, making the world too hot for people to inhabit. The ash mounts were his solution to this. He learned that by shoving the planet around required too much precision, so he created the mountains to erupt, spewing ash and smoke, making a thicker atmosphere to cool the world, or to make the world cooler, and turning the sun red.
Again, pissed me off. Because here it is, I was like sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna be like super smart and come up with the theories. And the next chapter, they're like, hey, by the way, that's actually what happened. And I was like, ah!
He didn't take her out of the mist. Yeah. And,
oh man, I thought it
and
was
the
a
reason why we
fun-
have ash falling from the sky is because
It's
his
'cause he
immediate
was
reaction
trying
was
to prevent the heat that was coming through because it was killing the people.
yeah.
It makes perfect sense. But again,
does.
I was trying to do theory time, and I got like just canceled like immediately. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
all right. No
So
worries.
we're gonna Seiza chapter, guys. Go Seize.
Says your boy says.
Did you think at the prologue that Terrace Man that was on the table was Seiza? Because the first time I ever read it, I thought it might have been Seiza, and I was like, no, please not be Seiza. But then we got Seiza chapter 4. So yeah.
Nah.
But you guys didn't fall for that. Okay. That was just
No,
Yeah.
because
Cool.
the thing is, though, if that was the case, Marsh would have said something that it was
I
safe.
guess. Yeah.
Right.
Good point. So it starts with Seiza, chief ambassador of the new empire.
Cool title.
Yeah, chief ambassador. He's studying, I guess, the religions of the Kanzi people, the Kanzi people, and their on the beauty of mortality and the importance of death. Was a vital function to the human body and a particular in the divine whole. Yeah, so he's thinking about religion still, even though at this point he has completely become atheist or at least agnostic. Like he's he's
losing his religion. All
that
right.
stays in the
Dude.
spotlight, losing his religion.
Yeah, man. This guy.
He's gone through some tough times.
He used to find like all these similarities between religions and like unify religions and unify people through religion. Now he is just looking for holes to say
He's checked
it's
out.
all bullshit.
Yep.
And it's such a stark contrast. And it's
Yeah.
clearly he lost his love.
Yep.
He's in a dark, dark place. And he is just like, nope. He's so quick to cut it out. He's like, that's bullshit. on to the next one. He's looking for answers for like why. He's like, why? Why did she die? Why
Yeah.
like why am I feeling the way that I do? And he's like,
Yeah.
well, it's not this one. That's bullshit. And it's
Yeah.
like it's a sad
I
it's a sad Stacey.
try to hide the
Sing it.
way I feel inside.
Sing it.
Sorry, the good old zombie song.
Zombie.
No, not Zombie by Cranberries. It's
No.
by the
By the way, rest in
Zombies.
peace, the lady from
Yes.
that too. What I
Yeah,
can't remember her name, but what a voice! Oof.
yes. I'm trying to
But
remember.
yeah,
her name. But yeah.
that was my note. Is that he used to find similarities, and now he's like just tearing them to pieces.
Yeah,
he
he's
also-
rejecting it as contradictory. He's like, yeah.
He also
no,
had
so-
a curious, inquisitory nature about him though before, and now it's not the same type of childlike curiosity, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's now more if it's very, and I feel like sometimes I use this word too much, but I feel like it's very perfunctory now. He's just like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this because I'm supposed to be doing this,
Yeah.
not because he really is like has that type of innocence and curiosity about the world around him and the history that preceded them. It's like, well, let me go in here and do the job thing.
Cynical. I would say yes, cynical.
It's a good
I'd
word.
say cynical and clinical. It's almost
And-
clinical. It's like,
yeah.
let me go in here and do the thing because the job demands it.
Yeah.
You know.
In the scene we're in right now they're outside this room, and I guess King Lacal is in the other room, and they're proposing a treaty or some sort of document to basically sign allegiance to Ellen's rule.
Mhm.
And they're waiting for him to sign, and I say them because it's Sazed and Breeze sitting outside the room having a conversation, and that's the whole entire scene for this.
Yeah.
Like, there's other stuff going on elsewhere, and they're talking about what's going on elsewhere in the other room, but like, it's this little conversation between Sazed and Breeze, our boy Breeze, at least my boy Breeze,
Yes, your boy.
my boy, I love Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so and Breeze is giving Sazed a hard time. It's like, aren't you gonna try to shove your religions on me? And Breeze and Saze's like, now's not the time, man. Like, it just like, and Bree's like, it's been a year, like, get over it. And he's like, dude, no, I'm not trying to do religion stuff anymore. Like, I'm done with that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little tough.
He's broken, dude.
He's a broken guy.
Yeah.
Bree's like, well, all right, why don't you do something worthwhile and like listen in on this conversation next door?
And he's like, that would be moral.
Yeah.
So, like, but you don't have religion, so why do you care? It's the whole entire argument that you get from a lot of religions. I mean, obviously, people always say like atheist people can't have morals because they don't have religion. Like, morality doesn't come from religion. Like, right and wrong. Yes, religion teaches right and wrong. Every religion in the entire world has lessons about right and wrong. But like, they're mutually exclusive, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to be like,
There are some people that need religion to teach them the concepts of
yes,
trying to do right by their fellow man. And there are just certain people who don't need that motivator.
right,
And they can just say, oh, I'm going to do right by the people around me.
right.
But that's the best way to do so is if you actually have like a religion to say, well, you
Sure.
know what? Let's fall back on this because
Right.
if you don't feel like you're going to get your comeuppance,
Yeah. Not everyone has a moral compass inherent built.
there
in
you
them.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
a moral compass. Whereas religion will always provide a moral compass. Whether
Mhm.
or not other religions agree with that moral compass is completely debatable.
Right.
But every religion in the entire world has their own moral compass.
Right.
Like, what's moral for each religion is different, but
Hmm.
it will provide that for you.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say. Every religion in the world has right and wrongs, and
Mhm.
this is right, this is wrong. That's
Right.
like, and that's in Earth, but also in this universe, obviously with the 300 or whatever religions that Sage has, same type of thing. There are aspects to that, and Says abandoned all of that at this point, whereas Breeze is goading him a little bit in this conversation.
Oh yeah, they have a good little spirited back and
Yeah.
forth here, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, go ahead.
I think you realize later on why Breeze is kind of egging Sazed on. It's not really a egging. It's I
Yeah.
think Breeze is trying to lift him up out of this dark place.
Breeze is doing the
Yeah.
exact same thing he's been doing since we have first met him, which is basically push and pull people's emotions to try to get them to the best sense of themselves.
Right.
in Breeze's way.
And
which-
Breeze,
Yeah.
Doesn't always seem like a positive, like helpful manner because he's so sarcastic about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot, like Breeze, like everything he does is in the best interest of everyone around him.
he comes across as an asshole.
And he
Yeah.
even tries
But
to sell himself as an asshole, which Sazed calls him out on in this chapter.
I'm sorry, we're talking about Breeze. I got about dueling cane, but
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right. By the way, forgot to talk about the fact that Ellen had a dueling cane in the battle earlier with the Koloss. I was going to bring that up, and I completely forgot about it.
That was a really cool picture to envision too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I was like, he brought in a dueling cane.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
was thinking
Koloss
about that the
battle.
other
I was
day, like,
okay.
when we first started these books, they
Yeah.
mentioned that came in like when started way back 3 books ago.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about this the other day, and it sticks with me from this podcast. My favorite moment so far this podcast was when it mentions that Cayman before they mentioned that how the magic system works. They mentioned that Cayman had a dueling cane, and I brought it up, and I showed mine off on live stream, and Alana said, "That's wooden. I pitched it as metal," and I was like, "No," and he's like, "Why wouldn't it have metal?" And I was like, "Just
Raffo.
Raffo." It would make 0 sense to have a metal
Fair
dueling
enough.
cane.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes
In
sense.
this
Fair
world,
enough.
you do
Yes,
not want a
yes,
metal dueling cane.
yes. Yeah.
But yeah, good one.
But it again, you know, we're talking about though. I mean, Breeze does things in the Breeze way to elicit the best of people in that moment.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's overt and sometimes it's subtle. You don't know
Mhm.
exactly how he's going to do it.
Sure.
And then the fact that Sazed comes back and calls him on it because he's like, you try to put yourself out here like you're an asshole who doesn't care, blah 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 blah. You're such a liar, my guy.
Yeah.
He was like, it is so obvious that you like care and you like are doing the best for the will of all those around you and etc. And he's like, you obviously love people, and he tried to make it seem like you're hard-hearted. He's like, it's all an act. He's like, I see
mean,
right through you.
There's a couple of good lines from this chapter.
Oh,
but,
there's
like,
great lines. In this
One of my
chapter,
favorite
yes.
lines from this chapter is like Sazed's like thinking about Ellen Venture and like leading people, and he's looking through his portfolio and says, "No," Sazed thought, glancing at his portfolio. "No, a man with no faith cannot lead them. I must find the truth for myself first, though, if such a thing exists." Like he's struggling so hard, like
Yeah.
to find anything. And at this point, versus trying to share religions, he's definitely looking at it from a more scholarly as trying to find holes in every single one of them.
Yeah.
And he's still being scholarly about religion, but he's taking it from a completely different standpoint. Where a book ago, yes, says it about religion. I believe in all of them is what his response will be, and now his response is, I believe in none of them. Like it's a complete opposite. Says
Yeah.
it like I believe in none of the religions. Like whereas before he believed in all of them
Right.
and
Yeah.
found truth in all of them. Now he believes in none of them and is trying to find the one that doesn't contradict itself. But still, he's a scholar. He's still looking through them.
Yeah.
But good old Breeze.
Yeah, but Breeze, he kind of brings him back around. you
Yeah, he
know,
does.
slowly but surely, and it's going to take time. I mean, grief is a terrible terrible thing. And so, he's gonna have to go through it, all the steps, all the phases
Yeah.
of that grief, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Breeze has to go through his own stuff too. I mean, because Breeze has been through a lot,
Yeah.
So
Yep. Breeze has.
yeah.
They-
So I like
they've
that.
all-
I
they've
like
all
this
been through a lot.
partnership right now. I like this tete-a-tete going
Yeah,
on with these two.
like the in the beginning of the chapter, they get to the whole reason like they're there, and they're like Breeze and Sazed are at Castle Lacal or whatever, the city of Lacal,
Mm-hmm.
to take it over, but they're not taking it over as an army; they're taking it over with paper.
Right.
I was like, only some really smart people could do that, like Sazed and Breeze.
Oh
So,
yeah, absolutely.
send in the smarty
Mhm.
pants,
Yeah.
smarty poo poos.
Mm-hmm.
As I
Yep.
call them.
Exactly.
Them dignitaries, right?
Yeah.
And here they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a lot easier to win nations with a sword than it is with a pen, but the pen can be mightier than the sword. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's a lot easier just to get a war if you have a more superior force. But
Did Churchill say that?
I don't know if Churchill said that or not.
I feel like that goes back a lot further than that.
Yeah. Maybe Machiavellian. Might go back further than that, but Suzu, Heart of
I
Heart
really
of
didn't have
Power.
pen.
It
Didn't
could
have
be. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I feel like it goes back quite a ways, though. That saying,
the pen is mightier than the sword. I don't know
Yeah.
how far back that
or
goes.
all the variations thereof, though, too. So yeah.
But it's true. I mean, it's to win someone over diplomatically, it's tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we end this chapter with the aide coming out and saying he signed the treaty after much deliberation. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the king signed the treaty and is pledged to Ellen.
And if you look on the map, Luthadel is kind of right in the center, but there's a river that goes south of Luthadel, and Lacal is due south of Luthadel.
Oh, okay.
And they're talking about how it's such a strategic. You got it up? Yeah.
Oh, there's the map.
So
I mean,
Luthadel
it's,
is like,
it's there's a lot of stuff on this map. But it's
so Luthadel is
in
Yeah,
the
unfortunately, you
middle.
got the blurs on yours, so I can't really
Yeah.
quite read any of
They
it.
were talking about how it's just a strategic position for the defenses that Ellen has in mind. So it's interesting though how it's all come around, because like wasn't Jost the son of
So on this map, like Luthadel is like right where my finger is right now, and Lacal is right over here,
Okay.
down the river
Mhm.
just down the river. But anyway,
towards the main body of water.
Yeah.
But
Got it.
it's important for Breeze and Sazed to go do this, I guess, because it, for whatever reason, they didn't explain why, but like it's an important strategic point for the overall. I don't know. I don't want to say control, but the oversight that Ellen is trying to maintain.
Mhm.
So
anyway.
Will, since you've looked at the map, since obviously looked at it, just a quick little thought. What are your thoughts on the map? Because it's obviously not a world map.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've talked about planets and shit. Like, this is not even
This
a
a world map of the planet.
This is a cell of the entire body of this thing that Sanderson's created. I'm like,
But even on
dude,
this one planet,
can we scroll to the right? Can we go to another hemisphere? Like, we're just we're in Virginia right now. Like, let's go to New York or Florida.
There you
or
go.
California.
Yeah.
Like, not even another planet. Can we just go
Uh-huh.
to another part of this planet? Like, what the hell is going on?
There you
That's
interesting.
there's so much out there that I'm like, dude, we are just totally.
We'll jump to another planet next. We're gonna go to another planet for the next book we read. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah, when I look at the map, I'm like, I know there's so much more out there.
Yeah,
but it's nice
interesting.
It's good to start off on a little segment, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just real quick and say, number one, I love these chapters.
Yeah.
These first chapters have been crazy informative, crazy action packed, well written, and I want to say efficiency is like crazy good in these chapters. His ability to deliver so much so succinctly is so impressive in the opening of this book, and it is a huge departure from the last book. The
Yeah.
last book I felt was just like for both sakes,
Mhm.
in some instances.
It's a bridge
Um,
book. It's a bridge
and
book.
yeah, and this book, you can tell. I'm gonna tell you right now, the first book was like world building. It's like, hey, here's what's going on generally, but there's a bunch of mystery. The second book, I was like, don't know what's going on here. We'll figure it out. And this book is purposeful so far. I mean,
Yeah.
it's every
Well,
sentence, every phrase has a purpose. There's some meaning to it. There's gravitas to it, and I love that.
so Will mentioned this the other night when we were playing Sea of Thieves. Back to that reference. In the audiobook, they don't have the preface in the audiobook.
Oh, really?
In the actual book, they had the preface. And I wish maybe I'll let you. I'll send this to you.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Alonzo,
I can
so
look
you
it
can
up,
actually.
man.
But like
Yeah.
the preface to this book, like it starts out with it's from Brandon Sanderson talking. It's like this is a book where I had to prove I could do this, both
Yeah.
to myself and my readers. During the years I was trying to break into fantasy, I noticed something about new writers is that a lot of them can do great world building and selling books, but there's a lot of people out there that can write good chapters and compelling characters and situations, but finding consistently, I found myself disappointed by the endings of my books, of these books, of these books. However, granted, I'll take a book with a weak ending, but characters over the reverse. Basically, he's talking about like when he wrote this book, I think he realized that this had to be a book. Like, I mean, it had. I mean, he had to like.
Yeah, Alonda, you need to read that. I didn't realize that the audiobooks didn't have it. 'Cause
No,
when I
there's
read
no
it,
preface. No,
when
no.
I read when
But
I read the
I will.
preface,
I will definitely read
I
it.
was like, okay.
So it's like a mea
We've
culpa, basically, for the last book, almost. And which
Yeah,
I love that because he's taking responsibility for the fact he's like, well, I fell into the trap where you do the world building and you
yeah,
set up these like good endings in certain books, but for the sake of like kind of doing the world building, at some point in time, the world building has to stop and it
yeah.
has to be about
It's
the
Yeah,
almost
character.
he even says in the preface, he says, "With Hero of Ages, I need to put my money where my mouth was. I
yeah, that was
invested
a
in
profound,
yeah,
yeah.
I invested in
Good.
writing all three of these books nearly back to back, finishing this one before the first one had even gone to press.
Okay.
I pushed myself this far and this hard because I wanted to make sure the last book was appropriately themed with the first two books."
Hmm.
Um, but he says, it says, but I'm exploring new territory. I've never actually finished a series before because this is the first series finished. And saying I want so badly to get it right. And then when some things went poorly, like Sazed's arc in a rough draft, I felt a lot of pressure to find another path. Like he talks about the stress of like making sure it lands
Yeah.
perfectly in his mind. But
And,
yeah,
and,
it's a great
and
preface.
the
Like,
thing is, though, what's interesting is I don't even really feel like I have to read the preface to know that I feel like that mea culpa is already built into this
yeah,
book in the first
fine.
5
Before chapter, yeah,
sections
yeah,
that we've read.
yeah,
I'm like, it is so obvious and evident to me the heel turn he has made in his writing style
yeah,
to like really deliver. And I'm like, I love it. I mean, so
yeah.
far we're like so quickly, moving through these chapters in this book, and I'm like, I feel like he's just done so much. He has said so much and been so much more impactful. And
Yeah.
I always plan, by the way, for like 2.5 hours of reading
Mhm.
when you assign us the chapters.
Sure.
I was ready for that 2.5 hours.
Mm.
Took nowhere near that time. Of course, I listened to it at 1.5 speed
Mhm.
in
Sure.
the audiobooks. It took nowhere near that, and
Yeah.
I feel like this delivered more than probably not the last episode
Yeah.
of this
Sure.
podcast, but I would say the last 2 episodes before that,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
3. He
Yeah.
delivered that much in such a short period of time, and it was impactful and not just like giving away stuff. It
Right.
was it really it all had a lot of gravity to it, and I appreciated it all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, this book's. I mean, Final Empire, the first book in this series, is fantastic.
Great book.
There's nothing.
Yes.
There's nothing.
It delivers all around.
It delivers.
Yes.
This book, I love this book. It's
I
not my
can see
favorite
why.
Brandon Sanderson book. My favorite one. We'll get to that one eventually.
Mhm.
It's in a different series, but
This is great. This has got a great start. It
Yeah.
came right out the gate, just firing, and
Just-
it's like
just
and I was like,
answering some questions, but leaving enough on the table that like
Yeah.
you're still like
absolutely.
yeah.
So I hope the whole rest of this book has got the same kind of cadence going with it.
Yeah.
Has some books come out strong, but I was like, so far every chapter has been written the same way. I feel like this is gonna be the cadence
Yeah.
all the way out, and I'm here for it.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on the start of this book? Are you enjoying it? Are you?
Yeah, no, same thing. In my own defense, I thought we were recording Saturday night last night, and so
no.
I did all
We
my
played
reading
Season
yesterday.
last night.
I did all my reading yesterday,
Nice. All right.
but I got through it so quick. But I was diligently taking more notes than I had on the other 2 books intentionally. But yeah, I mean, it kept sucking me in. It was what, 4 chapters plus the prologue was like 50 pages. I think I got through everything in under an hour. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes by quick.
it just sucked me in, and
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
the tone of this book has seemed to start off more like Alondo said, kind of like jumping to different areas but getting to the point very quickly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I'm stoked to get to this. It's exciting that we're in the 3rd book of a trilogy, and all these books are what, 700 pages. Like, I've never been a big reader, but this is one that's got me really
Wait
into it.
till you get this honky boy right here.
Yeah.
The
Wait, I think I have that one.
Wave Kings.
Oh no, I have this is
Oh, Either World. That's Forever Jordan. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's
Mhm. Either World. Very good. Yes.
Once we get to the 1,000-page books, Stormlight Archive.
well, I'm excited for it with this. So
Dude,
Yeah.
once
I am too. I'm excited
can't-
for this book.
I can't. Wait.
Mistborn was great. Well of Ascension, I was kind of like, okay, in a lull. Now I'm ramped back up. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to we'll be into Stormlight Archives this year in 2024, which I cannot tell you how excited I am.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I'm excited.
I missed at Tara. How much have you read? How much has Tara read?
She's caught up. She's
She's caught up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she finished reading the last few pages.
What are Tara's
Cool.
thoughts? Let's get Will's wife's thoughts because she's reading along with us.
Well, so she just finished the last chapter, like before, right as we were starting tonight.
Okay.
So I haven't talked to her other than she gave me her thoughts on the one part. Well, when Ellen was, taking control and
Sure.
Vin showed up and they were taking control of the Colossus army, she was excited to see Ellen using his powers and
Yeah.
Vin taking kind of not a backseat, but a side seat. So I know Tara was a little tired of Vin just being the main, power to be.
Sure.
So the last 2 chapters, I haven't really heard her thoughts, but if I were to, summon her mind from upstairs to mine right now, I think she's feeling the same way. I think she's excited to see where things are going because I have thoughts on things. Tara has thoughts times 10 on things. She's a
she's commented. There you go. I'm loving the book already.
Oh, nice. Good.
I'm excited. Ellen is Elementor. I like all the different perspectives catching up. The first few
Good,
chapters.
yeah.
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 She
Yeah,
so
chapters,
so My wife is the one who's my inspiration for like getting more into like fantasy
Fantasy,
because she's
yeah.
always been a huge Harry Potter fan, but also just like a fan of good writing in general. She's a writer
Good.
herself, so
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay.
you
Nice.
know, I know if I'm into it, she's into it times 1,000. So
Cool. Great.
yeah,
Great.
she's loving it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for Mistborn to be adapted. I know they've been talking about making Mistborn into a TV series, and I can't wait till that happens. But the Brandon Sanderson has been in talks to make this all into a TV series. But
Love it. Love it.
it would be
It would be cool to
epic.
see.
It would be epic and amazing. Hard to do,
Yeah.
but
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
10 years ago, yeah.
10 years
hard to
ago, it'd be
do.
really tough to do.
No,
But
now,
yeah,
easy to do. There's so much stuff, and as a comic book head, I mean, there's so much stuff. I was like, they're never gonna put it on screen. It's never gonna happen. And I'm like, oh, well, they made that comic book into a movie or into a series or whatever, or other books I read too.
Yeah.
Yep. So now I feel like it's if you can imagine it, they can put it on screen. So
it's just hard to adapt to screen. That's
because they try to take something that needs world building and they try to distill it down to whatever time frame they want to stick it into.
Well, so I mean, the main thing I've talked about this on other YouTube videos and things like that. The thing that's hard to adapt a book series to a TV series is the main theme of TV or movies, just film in general, is you show, you don't tell. And with books, you
Always.
just tell. You tell a
Yeah,
story,
right.
and you show, like with film, which it seems like a really simple concept, but it gets really really tough because a lot of this stuff like is inner monologue when you're reading it. When you're reading a book, it's all inner monologue. How do you do that on a television show? You can't just have inner monologue because that doesn't equate to television. Like
It's
a
going to be
narrator
some
voice.
weird like side
You have
side
to
view.
show. You have to
Yeah.
show.
But the problem with movies, and I know we're like past 2 hours. I don't want to like belabor this too much and stuff, but really at the end of the day, what happens is a lot of times when it comes to movies, television, etc., is they think that the audience is dumb and they feel like, oh, we've got to explain everything to you.
Right.
It's okay to have mystery, and it's okay for some people to be like, oh, well, I don't get this thing because it's not being laid out in a platter for me. That's not your audience. Don't worry about them. The audience that will, stick with things. I mean, yeah, Lost is another one where it's like, okay, that series came out. Everybody's like, I have no idea what the heck is going on. But yet and still, it was popular for a long time because people, it wasn't handed on a platter to you about like what's going to happen. And that happens in a lot of movies and shows. And some of the most, well-loved movies and shows are the ones where it's not handed to you on a platter. It's like, make me work for it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
and not everyone, not general populace isn't going to read a book. More people are going to watch a show, and I think watching a show inspires people like me, for example, to go back and read the book because there's a lot of that mystery, right? So maybe that's part of the art of the cinematography or the whatever you want to call it, making a show, is leaving some blanks to draw the viewers in to becoming readers.
Yes.
Right. I mean, I'm a prime example of that. I mean, my wife got me into Harry Potter. I still haven't read any of the books, but she's told me enough that I feel like I've read the books at this point. But
I feel that. But my wife's a big fantasy reader too, but she reads mostly young adult YA stuff. So a lot, like, we don't cross a lot because I don't read a lot of YA fantasy. I read a lot of high fantasy. So, but we still can talk a little bit about some of the stuff, but it's always interesting. Like you were saying, get into those.
Yeah.
It's a stark difference though between watching versus reading, but there are similarities that can be drawn together. So I think it'd be good to make this into a show. This would be very watchable stuff. There'd just be a lot left out, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Seeing the Mistborn fly through the sky using Allomancy would be so much fun.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Seeing a Koloss head bashed in by an axe that's controlled by somebody else. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh! And by the way, the largest Koloss in this daggone chapter, and like part of his skin was like basically he'd outgrown all of his
drifting,
skin. Oh, it was the most disgusting.
Oh
thing in
yeah,
my
I
mind.
like how
was
they say like the 5 footers, like they're not too bad, but just don't get your sword caught in their loose skin.
Yeah, and then they were talking about, they'll go up to like 12 foot, and then this 13-foot one comes out, and his skin's like stretched and like ripping off. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Tara said, "Imagine Tensoon on camera."
It's a bag of antlers. It's a bag of antlers.
Let's get bagavantlers.net registered right now.
I mean, the miss rates. I mean, so you can like picture the miss rates, like
we need that. Yeah,
weird, like
bagavantlers.net. I'm gonna go ahead and register that thing so I can go ahead and just start making my images, put them together.
There you go.
Tensoon
Yep.
art.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead and do favorite character from these chapters. We had a lot of first-person point of views, a lot of characters, so a lot you could pick from here. So, let's go.
Yeah, we got to catch up with the old gang. Who do you got, Will?
Oh man, I'm thinking hard. I'll go with Elend. Because he shows up like a boss.
He does.
Shows up like a boss, takes control, wins a mini war.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Elend. I'm gonna go with Elend for sure.
He even had a pimp cane, man. Come on.
He had the pimp cane. Yeah, he showed up strong.
He sure did. He sure did, man. Good job. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Marsh. Man, because Marsh is this guy he's fighting the whole time. So much so he wants to commit suicide.
Yeah, he's trying.
I mean, yeah, and I feel for him. So yeah, I'm gonna pour one out for Marsh. He's not dead, but I'm gonna pour one out for him just because he's struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with Team Tensoon because I'm the only one that can't. So
respect.
My boy Team Tensoon.
Mr. Scarface himself after his acid hits him.
I would have said Breeze, but because you guys gave Tensoon's a hard time, I gotta pick him now.
So I just looked up Tensoon art on Google, and there's a bunch of images of like dogs and like wolves, and that's not at all what I was expecting.
Well,
anytime you want to look up art on somebody, I highly recommend go to Deviant Art.
Yeah, let me add a Deviant
as a wolf because Tensoon was a wolf for most of.
Wait. Be careful though, because obviously there might be spoiler stuff if you start getting into too many.
I'll close it out.
Because I was gonna do that, looking up Vin, on something on Deviant Art, and I saw something, and I didn't know what I was looking at, and I started to get ready to look at, and I was like, wait a minute, I feel like I might be ruining something.
Close it out.
I just closed the browser. Literally, that's what I did.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not trying to get it ruined. So.
I just closed my tab. I just closed the tab. Yep. It's out. I closed it.
So,
good.
But what it was is because I was looking at the book covers. There's so many different book covers and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I was like, here's Vin and, like the Mistborn cape and all that kind of stuff. And I think I typed in like Vin outfits.
All right, you guys have to do me a promise. I mean, there's certain things you guys obviously can Google, but if you Google a ruin, I literally will cancel this.
Well, we wouldn't have until you said something,
because at that point you guys just spoiled completely. And
no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Not look at that stuff.
But it takes away. It takes away from my enjoyment of reading, though. Too, if I was to get ahead and see something. So
yeah,
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely don't Google anything. If I don't have to, and even Deviant Art, because the only thing I really wanted to see an image of this whole time was what a Mist Wraith looked like when we first read about him.
There's pictures of those,
right? Which I did do that on Deviant Art, and nothing was ruined.
Yeah.
So I was
Just looks like a
okay.
bag of antlers.
Yeah, bag of
Um,
antlers. So
pretty
I
much.
was okay with that. But other than that, no, I don't go out and do any like
Sounds
searching
good.
for art or anything. So
Sounds good. Well, next time we're gonna be doing 5 chapters again. So,
Okay.
like I said, there's short chapters this episode. There's a lot of chapters, but we're gonna do 5.
Okay.
So we'll do chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So through chapter 9.
All right.
Let's see if you have. Let's see. This is a good one. Idea. If you have art or anything you want to look up, pass it on Alan first. That can be your gatekeeper. Ask Alan to search it
Oh,
for you.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
I
do
mean,
that.
I locked my wheel reads guys in my basement. They're not allowed to actually do anything but live in my basement now. And that's I don't want to do that to you guys.
But wait, first of all, you don't have a basement. I've been to your house. Come on now. Wait a minute.
They locked
Or
down there. I
do
don't let them look at
you? Nah.
anything. Hey, the fans don't know this, all right? Shut
Oh,
up.
okay.
Like,
Got it.
I think Ian and Chris are downstairs right now, but
Got it.
nah, but it's but seriously, if you guys like want to look up stuff, I can look up stuff for you, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you're like, I need to know what this looks like, I can like let me know. I'm happy to take time out and find a spoiler appropriate image of whatever you want to see. If
I'm
that makes sense.
fine using. I mean, and I actually like when my imagination comes up with its own ideas about what something looks like. It's only time I've ever needed something spelled out for me is when I just cannot get my head wrapped around what it looks like. The mist wraith being the big one at the beginning. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I was like, oh, "Okay, I get it now." Because I typed it in, I did do that. But this is really early on, though. This is like what, chapter 3 or 4 of the first book, maybe even earlier than that. Who knows? But that's been the only time. But of course, at the time, we were still world building. I didn't know what the heck we were talking about.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I'm alright with it now.
I'm not spoiling anything. Don't worry. I know when to close a tab. Okay, if I search something, I see something, I say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to see that." Close it.
Boom. There you go.
Exactly.
I won't cheat. I'm not cheating.
So through chapter 9 next week, that's what we're doing through chapter 9.
Cool.
Yeah. So how you can be found is at thecosmireads.com. It's our website. You can find links to everything. Find links to Discord, social media, also our Patreon, and merchandise. You can buy merch. We do have it, so go check it out. We have a great merch site with lots of t-shirts. I know someone won a t-shirt recently. We do have a giveaway going on right now, but by the time this podcast comes out, that will be over with. But if you're listening to this live, go on Twitter and go to Cosmere Reads, the Cosmere Reads on Twitter, and you can like and retweet whatever the rules are for that giveaway. And on Thursday this week, we're going to be doing the drawing for a free Cosmere book of your choice. So
cool.
I will be sending you a hardcover copy. It'll be hard. The good old collectible hardcover copies. I like hardcover copies. Like once I got into books, like hardcovers are where it's at. Paperbacks are great, but like for shelf presents, hardcovers are where it's at. Yeah, like, retweet, and follow is the way you can enter to win. So go to us on Twitter, follow us, like us, retweet us, all that good stuff. And if you're lucky, you can win a free book. You tell me what book you want, as long as it's in the Cosmere universe, and I will send you a hardcover copy of it. So I do this from time to time, and that is done because we have great things like merchandise, we have sponsors, and we have Patreon. So if you want to join our Patreon, please consider. It helps me do these things like giveaways. It also helps us do things like run a podcast. It does cost some money for our editing software, for the hosting, for all that good stuff. So help us out. And like, subscribe, write reviews, do all the great things I say every single week because it pleases the algorithm gods. They're hungry and they want all of those interactions. So do those things. And that's all I got for this week, guys. So until next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
stink, ska stay fresh. Ska stink, ska stay fresh.